Ich glaube auf jeden Fall, dass die Karpaten die grüne Lunge Europas sein werden.
In Romania, the solar power is super popular right now.
Bucharest, the capital of Romania, 1,300 kilometers from Berlin. Two of the country's 20 million people live here. It is one of the poorest EU states with a gross domestic product of around 280 billion euros in 2022. By comparison, Germany's GDP is 3.88 trillion euros. The capital has one of the highest social costs in the EU due to environmental pollution. Social costs include medical bills, for example, almost 3,000 euros per capita per year. This was published in a study in 2020. And drivers spend almost half an hour in traffic jams for a 10-kilometer journey. But Romania is more than that. The country impresses with its wild nature and legendary castles, such as the one where the vampire Dracula lived, Count Vlad Dracula. Today, the problems are not bloodsuckers, but energy suckers. Despite its wealth of fossil fuels, the country is undergoing a process of transformation. Let's take a closer look. Romania spreads over just over 238,000 square kilometers. The country uses a wide range of resources to generate energy. Surprisingly, it is one of the most independent countries in the EU, thanks to its oil and gas reserves. The country also continues to rely on nuclear energy. Nevertheless, Romania reduced its greenhouse gas emissions by 53% between 1990 and 2018. Back to the capital. Opposite the Technical University of Bucharest is an independent organization for sustainable construction planning.
The main idea of this place, of this NGO, is that we are teaching people how to live a life more sustainably, how to build houses more efficient.
Our purpose as an NGO is to help build the communities of the future, the sustainable communities.
Experts come from the Faculty of Building Technology opposite. Razvan and Andrei also studied there, or from schools.
If we are only building the houses and using them for ourselves, or only a small number of people can see them, the idea of sustainability remains in this bubble.
This also includes the latest generation of employees, many of them so-called digital nomads. At home worldwide, working online. The organization has developed this model for their target group.
This year, it's our 3D module for our last house called Vatra. It's the house that we participated in Germany in 2022 at the competition. And right now, it's the core of our future village for nomads. The house will not be used for living all day long there. It will be like a space to work and do different activities.
The village is to be built far away from dense cities. This is because most people in rural areas are skeptical about energy development.
We want to make people realize that it is a future way of living, not only for the earth, but also for ourselves, because it's a better one, it's a healthier one.
Anyone interested can satisfy their curiosity on the premises, and with a tour of this house. It supplies itself exclusively with electricity. Visitors will find discarded electric car batteries here. They serve as storage modules. The country is increasingly focusing on green technologies. One of the largest wind farms in the world is in Romania and can generate up to 600 megawatts of electricity. This could supply over 200 two-person households in Germany for 1 year. The European Climate Initiative is also promoting the expansion of offshore wind farms in the Black Sea. There are also solar panels in the country. and the Romanian government is promoting the private purchase of photovoltaic systems. In 2022, renewable energies accounted for over 24% of total energy consumption in Romania. This put the country above the EU average of 23% and Germany's average of around 21%. However, it is also true that less energy is consumed in Romania. After all, only 20 million people live there. Whether in the countryside in the Carpathian Mountains or in the capital Bucharest, solar installations can be found everywhere, a trend that they have also noticed at solar panel manufacturer Darcom Energy.
In Romania, the solar power is super popular right now because of that governmental programs like Casa Verde, like PNR, and everyone is interested.
Casa Verde was a program launched by the Romanian government in 2023 to encourage private households to install solar panels through subsidies. The project was successful. There will be a follow-up program in 2024. Even though he probably benefits from it, the Darcom boss emphasizes the limits of solar energy.
You have a schedule when you can produce the energy. And that schedule is not flat, that schedule is like this, yeah? Depends on how the height is the sun and how the bright is the sun, yeah? And you must store that energy.
But there is a problem. There is a lack of storage options. The state electricity grid is outdated and does not offer the necessary storage space. One method would be disused electric car batteries.
We have the capacities to produce, yeah, but not to produce the entire capacity when it's needed. This is the problem, and to store it even during the day and consume it during the night. This is why I'm saying that we can achieve that, but in time.
Newer power lines are needed. Otherwise, a green future will remain just a pipe dream for many people. The south of the country should also become green again, because now it still looks like this: barren, dried-up, sandy landscapes. What appears like the Sahara is the result of years of intensive agriculture, dust-dry sand instead of fertile soil. Alexandru Neniu can still remember what it used to look like.
It was forest, it was green, but the forest was cut down, and we left with this. You can boil an egg on the sand. That's how hot it is. In the forest, 30 degrees, 25, 30 degrees.
He is part of the rebirth of the forest organization. They want to banish the desert from the whole of southern Romania.
We have to be and we need to be a role model, because not only for the desert.
Even if patches of green can still be seen here and there, lush green has become rare. This is the area the organization wants to tackle next.
The first thing is that we prepare the terrain. Then we are taking the trees, we put them in.
And what that looks like can be seen a few hundred meters further on. Here too, the ground is still dry. Heavy equipment is used to prepare the ground before the cuttings are planted. The organization plants the young trees with a special pre-treatment.
This hydrogel, it helps them to keep them wet for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
What such a forest looks like when everything goes according to plan can be admired a few meters further on. The forest is not just a water reservoir and oxygen supplier. It also acts as a natural barrier for the people living nearby.
They were very glad when they hear we're gonna plant trees here and when we're making forests. The big problem here was the sand. The sand that came all the way to the village, to their food, to everything.
In addition, temperatures are lower in summer. The organization hopes for a supra-regional effect.
We're hoping to put a little brake on the global warming and make the sands green again.
But there is still a long way to go before the forest looks like it did several decades ago. The journey continues to the Carpathians. Next to the Alps, this is the most important high mountain range in Europe with the continent's largest area of closed, deciduous forest. The region is sparsely populated, with a few small villages. The educational center of the Carpathia organization is located in the wasteland of the cold Romanian winter, around 30 minutes drive from the nearest village. This is where Bavarian-born Christoph Promberger works.
Carpathia ist ein Projekt, wo es im Prinzip darum geht, ein großes Gebiet als Nationalpark zu entwickeln. Was sagen wir mal für Europa die Bedeutung haben könnte wie Yellowstone Nationalpark für Nordamerika.
Yellowstone is a retreat for many animal and plant species, and such an area is to be created here too, one that must be protected at all costs.
Ich glaube auf jeden Fall, dass die Karpaten die grüne Lunge Europas sein werden. Oder auch sind, weil noch sind die Karpaten ja relativ intakt.
According to the Global Forest Watch platform, Romania lost over 400,000 hectares of natural forests between 2001 and 2022, not all through legal deforestation. It is important that the inhabitants recognize the value of the forests. That is why the association involves people from the surrounding area. The pictures on the walls are by a local artist, and school children learn more about the ecosystem and sustainability. Promberger wants to renaturalize the area. The model, one of the last primeval forests in Europe, and his home, the Bavarian forest.
Es war was uns, das hat uns einen Stich ins Herz versetzt, zu sehen, wie diese wunderschönen Wälder einfach so fast über Nacht verschwinden. Und deshalb war dann so, dass wir gesagt haben, diese Bedrohung ist so akut, wir müssen da irgendwas machen.
According to the organization, it has now saved 27,000 hectares of alpine forests and grasslands, larger than the area of Liechtenstein. And to understand exactly how renaturation works, it goes into the forest.
Hier sieht man zum Beispiel so eine kleine Buche, die haben wir vor einigen Jahren gepflanzt. Und die steht jetzt da drunter, die wächst hier sehr, sehr langsam. Im Moment ist es noch so, dass alles von den Erlen beschattet wird, aber in einigen Jahren oder Jahrzehnten ist dann so, dass die alten Erlen allmählich an ihr Lebensende kommen. Und dann hat man eben drunter diese kleinen Buchen, die dann vielleicht zu dem Zeitpunkt 2 oder 3 Meter hoch sind, die das Ganze dann übernehmen.
And this is what the reclaimed forest looks like before there was nothing here. This is what it looked like before the organization got involved. A picture in the middle of the tree colony reminds us of this.
Jedes Mal, wenn ein Starkregen war oder wenn im Frühjahr mit der Schneeschmelze, dann ist das Ganze immer mehr ausgeschwemmt und so ist das Ganze da runtergegangen. Es hat gestunken, das war kaputt. Es ist jetzt halt wieder was funktioniert, wo die Bäume wieder wachsen.
The forest was missing as a natural barrier. Carpathia is not just about trees and plants. It is about an entire functioning ecosystem. Carpathia has laid the foundation. From here, nature does the rest.
Wenn dieser Prozess mal losgeht, dann ist es so, dass da jedes Jahr sich das Ganze selbst verstärkt. Dann kommen auf einmal Arten zurück, die lange verschwunden waren. Und das Ganze geht eigentlich relativ schnell wieder hin zu einem Ökosystem, zum Wald, das so ein bisschen Urwaldcharakter hat. Insgesamt haben wir jetzt knapp 2000 Hektar wieder renaturiert. Und auf diesen Flächen, wo wir wieder gepflanzt haben, haben wir insgesamt inzwischen 4,5 Millionen Bäumchen gepflanzt.
And this area looks like this, in summer and from above. Animals are also part of the project. Ranger Zsolt Mihalcia specializes in them, and all he needs is this little device, a mini camera, because the aim is to monitor the animals in the area.
We have a wolf here. We have 127 cameras on the field, and we installed these cameras last year in June, and the cameras stay 1 year on the field. And after we want to know the density of the red deer.
The team focuses on lynx and red deer. They categorize all data according to species. Other Carpathia groups monitor other animal species such as bears and wolves. In addition to them, beavers, bison, and deer can also be found in the area. And where there is a lot of nature, there are sometimes territorial fights.
The artificial intelligence sort the pictures and keep just the red deer pictures, and after we determine the density of the red deer population in our area.
The team replaces batteries and memory cards once a month. On all hundreds of cameras, a lot of work, with enormous value. To be in the picture at all times, whether animals are coming or disappear. Some are fighting for animals to repopulate. Others are fighting to ensure that one species does not disappear, the brown bears, just a few kilometers from Carpathia as the crow flies. The non-profit organization Millions of Friends started saving animals in 1997.
When we started the project, we thought that we will save 10, 15 bears, but we discovered that we have a real problem in Romania. We had a real problem in Romania with bears in captivity.
Now, the 123 bears have freedom again compared to before, with lots of space and plenty to eat. So is everything good for the bears? Unfortunately not. The cause? Climate change. On this January day, it is around 7 degrees plus, too warm to hibernate.
They don't hibernate a few years before when the winter was winter. When it's warmer than usually, they go outside their den and they don't find food in the wild.
The big problem? The animals cannot return to the wild. Many have forgotten how to survive there. There is great concern that there will be even more animals.
It's the climate change, and they don't have our years when they don't have enough food because of the weather.
That's why they also want to teach people how to behave properly with bears, something that is increasingly becoming the focus of public attention.
Her name is Sierra because Evanna Lynch, the character Luna from Harry Potter movie, was here that days, and she chose the name for this bear.
For the bears, it's a race against time and against the dwindling habitat. It's stormy in Romania. They know how to use the wind in southeastern Europe. To see this, we head to Wallachia. The region in the east of the country offers ideal conditions for wind turbines, as the wind whips across the vast expanses. Liviu Gavrila from the Romanian Wind Energy Association and energy entrepreneur Andrei Rapeanu know the value of wind energy.
Definitely we will have more wind farms built in Romania. By 2030 we will have to comply with the European regulation and increase the capacity of wind farms to about 42%.
They believe they are well equipped to comply with EU regulations. Like here, there are many areas in Romania that are far away from the nearest settlement, and therefore offer no wind barriers. What they cannot plan for is the wind itself, because it is not reliable and constant.
By acquiring more and more information regarding the meteorological models and all of the things which have a direct impact on having a good predictability of the wind energy.
Romania is currently in a transition phase towards green energies. He predicts that it could take several more years.
You need to have renewable. On the same time, you need to have a good resilience of the system. You need to have a strong stability of the national energetic system.
According to the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, this would affect civil infrastructure and industry in particular. But what does Romania's energy future look like? There is potential in the country because, on the one hand, people in Romania are using green technologies. There is also a noticeable awareness of the problems of our time. On the other hand, civil society can only take limited action itself. Ultimately, it is up to the state to renew the dilapidated infrastructure. The country flies under the radar. Romania offers natural diversity, and the efforts of many people and initiatives give us hope that Romania will become greener in the future.